So for the essential question for 1-4, the essential question is how can you represent decimals, which I tried to go over in the solve and share as much as possible. But this time we're looking at Joe's flower seed. We're going to talk about the standard form, the expanded form, and the number name. So make sure you're in your book on page 18 and you're following along. Joe picked a seed from her flower. The seed has a mass of 0.245 gram. What are some different ways that you can use to represent that number? And it isn't 0.245. That's how you read it like a math moron. A mathematician would read it like it says here in the number name. 245, I read the whole number, 245 thousandths. I could also say 0 and 245 thousandths. But the standard form is just the number. The 5 is in the thousandths place. Its value is 0.005. What do you know about the value of the 10 or the 4 in the hundredths place? What do you know about the value of the 2 in the tenths place? You should be able to answer those questions. In expanded form, we did this on the solve and share. Let me just zoom in. It's really close. Okay. On the solve and share, I showed you this example, 2 times a tenth, but you could also write 2 times 0.1 as a tenth. I like how they use parentheses because it keeps it organized. Plus a 4 times a hundredth because it's in the hundredths place. Plus 5 times a thousandth because it's in the thousandths place. That kind of looks like 0.9. Let me fix that. 0.01. Okay, so I need you to convince me, making sure that you understand how these place values are related. It says, how many hundredths are in 1/10? How many thousandths are in 1/100th? Tell how you know. So before you can do the convince me, I am going to pop over here to another example. I love these other examples. They have them every once in a while. I just wish they came before the convince me because I think you need to know this before you can do this. So let's check this out. So equivalent decimals, I'm going to use this as a pointer. Equivalent decimals name the same amount. Okay? So 1/100th is equal to 10 thousandths. So this is my hundredth stick when we're talking about decimals. And one of these, 1/100th, is equal to 10 of these. Okay? So there's 5, 10. So 1/100th is equal to 10 thousandths. Okay, you're probably wishing I would just stop playing. But I wanted to prove to you. Look, 1/10, 1/100th, sorry, 10 thousandths. All right, so it says here in the book, what are other decimals equivalent to 1 and 4/10? So I have 1. This is my big 1. I zoom out a little bit. So this is 1 and 4/10. I went and grabbed 4/10. Okay, so I could call this 1 and 4/10. Sorry for the seasickness. So I have 1 and 4/10. Okay, but this 4/10 is the same thing as I could take all these strips out and I would have 40 hundredths. So I actually went and counted 40 hundredths. So I have 40 hundredths here. All right, so I have this is 4/10, or I could say 40 hundredths, and those are equivalent. So 1.4, 1 and 4/10 is equal to 1 and 40 hundredths. But 1 and 4/10, if that's equal to 1 and 40 hundredths, so 40 of these, it's also equal to 1 and 400 thousandths. Now, I did not go and count out 400 of these because I have better things to do with my time, but 400 of these is equal to 40 of these, which is equal to 4 of these. Okay? Because 1.4 is equal to 1.40, which is equal to 1.400, because 1.4, 1.40, and 1.400. They all have a 1 in the ones place. They all have a 4 in the tenths place, and these zeros are just placeholder zeros. They're different ways to look at the numbers. So, for example, they have a picture here. I just wanted to get the manipulatives out and show you. But here's 4/10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they're calling this 4/10. 40 little squares could be 40 hundredths because it's 100 squares here, and there's 40 out of 100, so for 4/10. Or you could like zoom in microscopically on one of these, split it into 10 columns, and then you would have 400 thousandths. Because this one has 10, and 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 this one has 10. They all have 10 because 100th is equal to 10 thousandths. Now, if that doesn't make complete sense to you, that is okay. I want you to remember that I can put zeros after, and they are still equivalent. 4 is tenths is equivalent to 4d hundredths, which is equivalent to 400 thousandths. All right, so now, looking back. Oh, sorry, lots of movement today. Now, looking back at the convince me, how many hundredths are in 1/10? I need that answer, okay? Hundredths in 1/10. And over here, how many thousandths are in 100ths? Thousandths in 1/100th. I'll give you a hint. If they're asking me for how many thousandths, over here, how many thousandths are in 100th, they should be equivalent. If they're asking over here how many hundredths are in 1/10, these should be equivalent. So you are just finding the question mark. And then I feel like you should have to at least tell me how you know in person or write something down so I know you understand. Okay, definitely over my time limit for recording. That was a lot, but it's important. How can you represent decimals? If you need help, get out the base 10 blocks or ask questions. But your job is to solve all these when you're done with this video. And when you're done solving all of them and you got them all checked with the answer keys and the top secret information in the back of my room, then you can do problem solving with a friend. Okay? The core problems here, do all of them. But if you need to know the core problems and which ones count, come see me.